Folks, what's going on? It's your boy here again, Dean, and I want to be 100% honest with you guys. I want to talk today about how the dual set releases, accelerated release schedule, I think that's going to kill the game, and I do believe, I'm going to say this right now, it's going to be the fucking hottest take. I do believe that if you supported this, you either A, don't play this game as your main game, you don't actually buy cards or like enough of them, you're just like, I don't know. Do you got something wrong with you? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. If you support this, I think that you're in the wrong headspace 100%. And I'm going to go and be completely honest with how much I spent on this game and why I just think it's unbelievable that we get this dual releases. So for those who don't know, they announced that they want to catch up to Japan. Just 6 months behind, not even fucking catch up. It's unbelievable. And to do so, they're releasing a set a month for a while. There's gonna be like Vanguard into the whatever the set is after that, into the summer set, into dual release sets where it's two sets in one. I want to go over why that's fucking atrocious. That's the worst thing I've ever heard, and I want to talk about how much I currently spend, why that will severely be diminished, and how I believe that's going to affect the secondary market. There's going to be a lot in this video. So to start off, I am no stranger spending money on cards. I have been playing White Shorts for years. I have quite the, I've got binders upon binders of max rarity behind me, like actual play sets, and I've got binders of just like high-end cards. I'm a collector. And so when Shadowverse came out, as a player collector, I said I'm going to buy a case of every set because it seems that it guarantees me a playset of everything. So I currently own a playset of everything in Shadowverse. Initially, I was gonna max rarity cards, and I do have a. It's gonna be you're pretty far from the camera. It's whatever, but just know there's like I own quite a bit of high rarity in Shadowverse, but it's feels nearly impossible to keep up with. So I don't buy as much high rarity anymore. Outside of like key specific cards I like Gawain and Latika and all those. If it's a fan favorite, I do actually buy it, but if it's a card like Faust or Riley or some card that I don't give a fuck about, yeah, I'm not buying those. So that's where I am with Shadowverse. And so let's talk about how much that cost. How much does it cost for me to maintain buying one case of sets and a little bit of high rarity? So case is about $850 to $900, and we get about 7 sets in a year. But then also I believe in supporting my LGS, so that's another $150 to $180. We'll just say it's $200 supporting my LGS every set. And basically the numbers come down to after I sell some cards on TCG Player and friends, I'm probably pushing $1,100 per set. Between a little bit of TCG Player orders, $200 at the store, get $100 back, spend some money on foils. Look at about 1,100 sets, so close to $8,000 a year on this game. It's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money. You can max Weiss sets. I have Weiss sets that I've maxed. Not Ruby. Ruby was $8,000. Or Ruby was $12,000 actually. It was fucking, that was atrocious. Dropping shit. But I have max play sets of Weiss. You can max Freerin currently. The brand new set, well not brand new, but like, within the last year, you can max Freerin, and I was looking on TCG Player, realistically within like a $6,000 range. Max Freerin. Full playset. I'm talking 4 of everything, not just a deck. I'm talking 4 of everything. The $1,000 card, you only need 4. That's $4,000. $500 card, boom, that's another 2. You're looking at 6. Like after the stragglers, you're looking like for the price of Shadowverse for a year, you could max play set a white set, which is unfucking believable. And that's just to maintain a living play set of the game, which is something I've done up to this point. But I'm going to talk about the downsides of that, and that is another thing that's the reason I bought the cases is because like our set releases are so fucking fast. As a competitive player with some of the events, like I believe Philly was like a week, 2 weeks after the set. No, I think it was like 1 week after the set was legal, which is a week after the set comes out. So it's 2 weeks after the set. So let's say that I didn't buy a case. So when you do buy a case, the way that it works is unless you have like distributor ties, you're probably most likely buying from 50 cards because it's the cheapest by fucking $50 a case, which does add up. It's 7 times a year. It's $350 saved in a year. They don't ship until the day that the set comes out, roughly, or like a day or 2 before. So you're realistically going to get your cards. Cards come out on, unless you do expedited shipping, which is additional $30. you're realistically going to get your cards the Monday after the set comes out. So you got to wait like 3 to 4 days after the set comes out to get your case. Spend 1 day opening it. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. The only problem is the fucking Cinderella Rose was a 6-week meta. That was legal for 6 weeks. So you have waited almost a week to just open your cards, right? Like realistically, your first locals you missed, and you gotta a week has gone by, and you finally got your cards. You only have 5 weeks left. Let's say that you're a normal person, and like the day of the set comes out, you go into your locals and you buy a box. And then you go and then you buy the singles. You're not going to single out the entire set because first you want to see what you pulled out of your box from sporting your locals, right? And then you order your cards, and TCG player, like right, your average seller doesn't get them out the day of. They get them out like maybe on the Monday. They get it out on the Monday. Post office takes it a week. You're waiting like a week to 2 weeks. Realistically, I say it's going to take you about 2 weeks to get your cards, guaranteed. So 2 weeks of a 6-week meta means that in a month you have lost 33% of your time frame of this deck being relevant. Because the other problem with Shadowverse is our fucking power creep's insane. Our power creep's insane. Our tier list is actual god. Like you cannot. If you've ever played like a deck that's like one tier below another one, I think you realize this game has like A2 matchups. It's like fucking. They're damn near unwinnable. If a matchup is bad, you gotta like pray that your opponent just has like the worst hand of all time. Because if their medium hands probably cook your good hands. I'm just saying. So, right, you if you don't buy a case, you're buying singles. You get your cards 2 weeks after. 33% of the time of the set is used up, and that's just it's like something you can't really do as a competitive player. But at the very least, when you do buy a case, you are guaranteed a play set up until this point. So now we have the most recent set, which was BP9 Duet of Dusk and Dawn or whatever, Dawn and Dusk. The set had the starter decks shoved in, and I don't know if people opened cases for this. This set was ass to open. This set was ass. So in your normal cases, you're roughly guaranteed a playset. And then a couple cards that you might be able to sell. Like you might have like 1 to 2 of each legendary to sell. Sometimes you have 0 of the additional legendaries to sell. In this set, I pulled 2 Vania Evos out of my case. I pulled 2 Vania Evos. That's a fucking $30 card. That was a $35 card. I thankfully pulled it out of my locals packs, managed to secure it to maintain the living playset. But that was just shoving 2 starter decks in. Some other things about cases that people might not know is you usually only get, I think it's like 5 to 6 copies of gold Evos if you're lucky. And with silver Evos, you might get 6 to 7. So when we get to this faster release schedule, there's going to be a multitude of things that's going to make buying cases, maintaining a playset, but also just opening product unfeasible for the average person. So first up is you have the release schedule of once per month, where you get Vanguard, news set, swimsuit set, double release, 2 weeks. I think you get 1 month break and you get double release again. Okay, so on that 1 month, that 2 weeks comes up. So in the Idolmaster 6-week meta, it's now going to be like a 4 to 5 week meta. Okay, 4 to 5 weeks, you're already at 33%. You're going to be hitting 50% on your TCG player order in order to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be spending in 4 months $4,000 fucking dollars on this game. Okay, realistically, let's say you open the case and you sell a little bit of it. I mean, if you completely ignore high rarity, in which case where you're buying a case, you can maybe, but like you're buying min rarity only, you can maybe get away with, let's say, $700 realistically, because your use can be fucking bad. You saw my case opening, pulled Marduk Spartacus, fucking just atrocious. I pulled the worst use in the set. I'm looking at like $70 recouped on the use. I know that there was a bit in the SLs. SLs aren't always worth money, and they're sometimes hard to move. And then you have TCG player fees that I think sometimes people forget, plus taxes. A lot goes into it. So you're looking at like maybe $650 a set times. It's like $2,600. It's fucking a lot. That's a lot of money for 4 weeks, 4 months, all to like have your decks just be like playable, nuked, playable, nuked, playable, nuked. It's atrocious to try to keep up with. And then once the dual sets come out, you're looking at needing 2 cases. It's basically the same as a monthly release because realistically, what you're going to need to do in order to keep up with it, if you're buying cases, is you're going to need 2 cases in order to get a playset. You're going to need 2 cases in order to guarantee a playset of golds actually on the Evo side because there's probably no fucking way that they're, unless they like put more cards in a pack, double literally everything up to even silvers, and reduce the number of bronzes. They have to fucking do something crazy with like the pack ratios to not make this the worst thing you've ever seen as far as like how much product you need to open to have like a playset. And you're like, okay, Dean, the fuck are you talking about? I don't buy a playset. I buy like my deck. I buy my cards, right? Well, your deck involves a playset. Your deck involves a playset of the good cards in the case, right? The actual money reasons for buying the case. Nobody cares that you have 3 Marduks. I'm gonna be honest. Nobody cares. They care that you have 6 Vanias, 3 of each side, right? So somebody has to open your case to get you that. Now, instead of opening a case and getting 4 Vanias and being happy, 4 to 5 Vanias, and then it's like you open 2 cases, you got enough supply for 3 people, and you're also like selling off the high end, you now need to open 4 cases to have supply for 3 people, right? So the amount of money going in increases. Now, here's why that's a problem. Because there's people like me, and there's quite a few of us I know that do spend the money to buy cases for personal collection. And when we buy a case for personal collection, we are inputting cards into the economy, right? So I contribute 2 to 3 of each L that goes up on the market. And there's a lot of people like me that do that. And then there's like the major stores where they open tons of cases. They open like 8 cases at a time, 10 cases even. And they put a lot of supply on the market. And all of that leads to your single prices. So how you get cards. I know a lot of people that are at my boat that are on the more medium size, like big spenders. They're fucking not going to keep doing this for a while. They're completely stepping away from the game. I know I personally am, and I'm going to go over that in a second. Um, we're just kind of stepping away. We're saying this is fucking we can't afford this. This is unreasonable amount of money. This game was already expensive, but I love the game. But asking me to spend that much in that short of time is unreasonable, 100% unreasonable. And so we're not going to be opening it. Those major suppliers, they're probably going to maintain the status quo for like a month or two, and then we'll have to see what the fuck happens there. Because are you going to buy $100 single when that's it? Is the $100 single even going to be there? If they had to use to open 8 cases and that was enough supply for, was it like three? Let's say 4 players off of 2 cases. No, 3 players off of 2 cases. So 8 cases would be 12 players worth of cards. So if they were able to supply 12 people per class off of their normal allotment, and then the other people were helping shore it up, but now their allotment is only 6 players worth of shit. Who gets to own the good decks? Who gets to own the good decks? They don't fucking reprint this game. They never reprint this game. You can't like the only thing that's happened is we've had overabundance of pre-orders into like prices falling. But then you have certain sets like the newest set where you had $50 singles, $30 singles. You had crazy prices on cards because the ratios were just slightly fucked. What do you do when it's really fucked? And when the people like me who were helping supply you step away? I honestly do believe we're going to have $100 singles that are going to be relevant for a month. And I think that's unbelievable because I don't know who's going to be playing. If your best deck in format is that much, if your best deck in format is $800 into like $200 like the next month, who's going to be able to keep up with that? And what's the incentive for the stores? Like the stores will be okay to a point, but if you see a decrease in players because of that, which I think you will, I do think 100%, this has the highest chance of like killing not only the financials of the game, but like the player base because they're going to be struggling to get singles and they're just going to be discontent with it. And even some of the more casual players already as is, it's like when you get the 6 week sets, it's like they buy like a box or two, and like, what do you mean I have to buy another box? What do you mean I have to buy like more cards for the set? It's all going to be very problematic. But now here's the real problem is that let's say like for me personally, right? I have my current living playset, and I know that personally I am not buying. I'm sorry, Bushi Road, you lost $6,000, $7,000 this year from me just off of your announcement. When the time comes that the set releases go back to normal, I am never buying a case again. This is the honest truth. I am never buying a case again because this entire maintaining a playset thing, it's gone. I won't have a playset. I am never gonna go rebuy. What is it? You get like 140 card sets times three. You're looking at like just fucking round up 400. I'm not gonna go 400, and you get the double releases, so it's 800 cards that you need per set to maintain a playset. 16 times like the other two. There's three other four sets. I'm not gonna go buy 4,000 fucking cards. Okay, doesn't matter how cheap they are. If the fucking cards are 10 cents a piece, $4,000, I'm not gonna go back and buy that shit. So you will never. Not only have you lost, and I think this is going to be true for a lot of people. I think this is going to be true for a lot of people that are investing in this game and that currently play this game. You will never go back to spending unless you are currently only maintaining a single class and a single deck. You will probably never go back to spending the way that you currently are after a stunt like this. Because I know I won't. I will only buy a couple foil. I'm going to be like buying like the Titan set, and then I'm taking a huge step back on my expenditures. And the case is, for me personally, it's never happening again. You guys cannot even like tempt me on that shit. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I hope that I went over really like everything that goes into it. And I know it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit more rambly because it does have a lot of emotion in it. I want to do this, but like I had to wait till I got back from Japan. And I'll still cover the news on the game. I'm gonna judge probably uh, after Vanguard because like Vanguard onward is when this accelerated release. I will be playing Worlds Beyond. You guys will get to see that. That is not going to have anything nearly as atrociously expensive as this. So, uh, it's really sad that I have to put out a negative video like this, but it's the state of the game, and I'm honestly like, I feel like of everyone, I'm the most willing to share how much I spend and really give a glimpse into how everything's going to go down because I know Igni put out a video. Igni does not financially support this game like I do. I'm just going to be honest. I know there's a couple other people that are like whales, and the whales even said they're going to like stop whaling as hard. I won't name any names there because I don't know if they were putting out content about this or they're going to talk about their thoughts on it. But yeah, I know it's a rambly video. Don't like to be negative, but look forward to more content and look forward to Worlds Beyond. And until then, this is your boy Dean signing out.